standing in the middle of a freeway fighting and then hit by a car and killed. Some of you defending the driver who police say may have been drunk. Others cannot believe you'd have the nerve to do that. Get ready for this one, folks. Also, a new discussion just getting underway right now on the American Sniper man, or the movie based on him. And now he's getting his own day in Texas. We knew this was going to ruffle some feathers, and it is. Also, we knew the Super Bowl would be big, but just how big of an audience is almost mind-boggling. Oh, and it also helps social media reach a new milestone. Well, that's kind of why we do this social media newscast. It is the future. And what Super Bowl commercial has you saying things like Monica, who wrote heartless and distasteful, and Jennifer, it went way too far, way too far. I'll tell you about it coming up in just a little bit. Dave.
Well, we certainly had the rain, and now it's out of the way temporarily. Now we're going to be looking at some pretty nice weather over the next several days, but what about next weekend? Could we see some big changes again? That's all coming up. All
right, thanks, Dave. Get ready. You become part of the day's news right now.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC-7 at 9 on the El Paso Las Cruces CW.
Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us tonight on ABC-7 at 9 right here on the CW. I'm Bob Hart. Nicole, she's at home because her little boy is sick tonight. We hope he gets better. But hey, she tweeted us saying, don't worry, guys. I'm making sure Bob Hart is in the social media buzz, so you're fine. Well, thank you, Nicole. We do appreciate that. So get out your laptops and your smartphones. We want to see you on the CW, and we begin right now with the stories that you need to know before joining the social media talk. Now, this is by far the most talked about story in our social media network tonight. Okay, you need to know that we asked, but an El Paso police spokesman still will not identify the driver who hit and killed two brothers on Loop 375 North. This was at the Spur 601 area on Saturday. Well, police saying 25-year-old Jesse Gutierrez and 22-year-old Adrian Ramirez, they were standing in the middle of the freeway, possibly drunk, having an argument. The driver is also suspected of being under the influence. Well, Miguel, one of our viewers, saw the scene firsthand and posted this. I drove by it on my way home. Not a scene I'd ever want to see again. Renice pretty much sums it up. Shake my head. This is a sad story, but they shouldn't have been out on the street. This could have been prevented. Some of you, though, defending the driver despite possibly being drunk. More on that discussion in a moment. First, though, you need to know that Eduardo Estrada Garcia is being held on $1 million bond for the 2006 murder of Emily Howard Ianni. He allegedly dumped her body in the desert near Chaparral. Our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom crew was there as Estrada was charged today with first-degree murder. He was on the run in Mexico since '06 until he was caught last summer, and he was just sent back to Doña Ana County last week. A former New Mexico star athlete who stabbed her mom and sister also in '06 was let out of prison last year, but tonight she's back in custody. Carissa McGee is held without bond for probation violation. She reportedly just contacted her then-girlfriend, which she was not allowed to do. Today, a district judge modified the probation by allowing McGee contact with that woman. No word, though, how long she'll have to stay in jail. You need to know why flags were flying at half-mast all across Texas today. And Governor Greg Abbott signed a proclamation today declaring this Chris Kyle Day in Texas. Now, he is the retired Navy SEAL who's depicted in the film American Sniper. This one is heated on our Facebook page right now. Letty telling us no, totally disagreed. That's why we have Veterans Day. But Mike telling her, oh, we can celebrate Julio Cesar Chavez in El Paso, but you'd better not celebrate a fellow Texas soldier. Sarcasm, I am assuming there. Join that talk happening right now. You also need to know there is a movement underway to get rid of those red light cameras in Texas. State Rep Jonathan Strickland from the DFW area filed a bill that would eliminate them. Now, Strickland says that we have the right to face our accuser in court, and you can't do that if the accuser's a machine. During this discussion, we posted this a few hours ago, and a lot of you are commenting on that as well. Well, some members of the Southern Park City Council, they are trying to oust the city manager. But Vernon Wilson says he had no idea until he saw it on tomorrow's agenda. You need to know our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom will be at that meeting tomorrow, and we will sort it all out for you then. And the long unfinished county sports park renovation finally has a timeline for completion. County commissioners today approved a new architect to take over that project. So you need to know it's going to take 279 days to finish. That stalled project resumes soon, and it should be done by a count, doing our own math, November 8th. Another winter storm, the same one that dumped more than 19 inches of snow on Chicago, is now hitting the New England coast. Accumulations of 9 to 16 inches in Boston tonight. There was also a 57-year-old woman in Boston hit and killed by a snowplow. Now, parts of northern Ohio and Pennsylvania got at least a foot of snow. You also need to know that storm delayed two of the nation's biggest court cases. The murder trial of former New England Patriot star Aaron Hernandez. We're told that one should resume tomorrow. And, of course, the jury selection in the federal death penalty trial of the Boston Marathon bombing suspect, Shokar Sarniev, that was delayed until Wednesday. You can check out the See You on the CW Facebook page or KVIA.com page. Earlier today, I posted a list of things you need to know about that storm, like the latest death toll, the current storm warnings, and how millions are dealing with a dangerous commute every morning. Speaking of your commute, you need to know what the roads look like here. No snow or ice, thankfully. Looks good out there right now. Our TxDOT traffic cameras showing everything is flowing smoothly. Now, Dave, I happen to know firsthand from my grandparents who live in Bedford, New Hampshire, how bad it is back there. They're about 45 miles north of Boston. They're actually coming Wednesday to visit me. I know they're happy to leave that weather. I just don't even know if they're going to make it out of that area. So hopefully they do.
Yeah, they should be able to, you know.
Okay.
And my family, my sister and folks live in Chicago, and she's been sending me pictures there yesterday of all the snow. Say, blizzard conditions, and even today, 19 inches.
Yeah.
Got 19 inches at my folks' house as well. So, yeah, they're locked in over there with snow. But, you know, last week, you remember Tuesday, we issued a first alert warning folks that, boy, we're going to have several days of clouds and rain in the forecast, and we certainly saw the rain. We said anywhere from a half an inch to an inch of rainfall across town, and this is the number that we picked up over the 3 days. We picked up nearly 6/10 of an inch, so we were right there for you. Now, since January 1st, 0.85. You figure in the rain and some of the snow that we had, when you melt that down, we are about 4/10 of an inch above the average for this time of year. Now, Brian in the Northeast texted me, and he said his rain gauge showed an inch there in the Northeast over the last several days of seeing some of that rain. There's your weather outside. Top number in white is your current temp. The bottom numbers, the high and low that we had today. And very nice day. You know, we're starting to dry things out after all that rain, and I know a lot of folks excited about that, having to do some yard work or farm work around the area. But we'll talk about the rest of the week, including your weekend, and if we could see any big changes for your Saturday and Sunday. That's all coming up, Bob.
All right, Dave, thanks so much. Well, ABC 7 at 9, as you know, the only newscast in the borderland that focuses on what you at home are saying about the day's top stories. Now, you can join our discussions on the KVIA.com Facebook page and also our See You on the CW page. Don't forget to like us on that page as well. And we're on Twitter and Instagram, so share those comments and photos 24/7. So tonight, the big talker piece is this. It's from over the weekend. In our discussion online right now, a viewer saying they won't say till an autopsy work is done, more than likely. Now, you're absolutely right, Mike. He is talking about the two El Paso brothers who were killed, and police aren't saying much, except 22-year-old Adrian Ramirez, who you see here with his little girls, was standing in the middle of the freeway, possibly drunk, having an argument with his brother, 25-year-old Jesse Gutierrez, who you see here on the left. He also leaves behind daughters. Keep in mind, police suspect the still unnamed driver who hit them was under the influence as well. Well, let's see what Danny wrote on our Facebook discussion. Well, in my opinion, it's a little hard to read here, but I'll go through there. Well, in my opinion, the driver shouldn't face the killing of two people because nonetheless, they were in the middle of the street, but should be charged with driving while intoxicated. Matt then replied, or Pat did, if the driver was intoxicated, he should get a ticket for DUI, but not intoxicated manslaughter. Then Mike said, well, if you were going to be arguing in the middle of a freeway, things like this happen. And Bobby said, could have been a sober driver also. Stand in the middle of the road and see how many people miss you. Marisol then commented another thing, and it sparked a discussion of its own, saying, true, this should have been in the street. Shouldn't have been. 70 miles an hour. And with no lights out there, he should not be charged. Jason said except he was intoxicated too, he should face some penalty. Marisol says, okay, but I'm just saying he probably wouldn't be able to stop as fast being drunk or not. Mike has had enough, saying, so we are defending drunk drivers now? Okay, Gerardo blaming the victims. How can you expect two idiots arguing in the middle of the passing lane on some freeway to survive? Even if the other driver was intoxicated, charge him with DWI, but not for running over two fools. Martha, not happy with the tone this discussion is taking over the weekend, saying, I don't understand how some of you can be so heartless. This could be your son, brother, cousin, etc. A bad choice to argue in the highway, yes, but no need for the heartless comments. May they rest in peace. And Sammy saying, as much as the situation is awful, have some respect for the families of these men. They are never going to see them again. And then Richard wraps it all up for us saying this: what will it take for us as a city and as human beings to stop being stupid and think when we are behind the wheel? Well, it is not too late to join the discussion. It is underway right now with KVIA.com and the CU on the CW, both Facebook pages. Check us out right now. Okay, on a related note, some of you call this a buzzkill for a Super Bowl commercial. For Nationwide Insurance, though, apparently the company was trying to raise awareness for preventable accidents, kind of like we saw in that discussion right there. Well, Caesar is saying, how will a commercial save any lives? Liza replied, because Caesar, not very many people realize how certain things can actually kill a child. Like, for example, a dresser, if not stabilized, can fall on a child and kill them. So Nationwide aired this commercial last night, the company again wanting to raise awareness for what it calls the #1 killer of kids in America, car wrecks. It showed a dead child describing the life he will never have because of one. Then Liza finished her comment saying, Americans are just too sensitive. We need to talk about the hard stuff. So saying the messages were surely thought-provoking, but were not appropriate for the event. Total buzzkill. And Monica, heartless and distasteful. Painful reminder of the nevers to us parents that have lost a child. I understand about raising awareness, but not this way. Oh, it wasn't just that one. Some of you say lacked a lot of panache last night. John saying it's a shame there aren't any commercials for antidepressants, because these commercials make me want one. Or some. Do you agree with John? This discussion still underway on our Facebook page tonight, buzzing about those commercials you probably don't even remember at this point. And which one had Nicole Gomez posting this? Okay, seriously, was this not the cutest Super Bowl 49 commercial? If you can't wait to find out which one she's talking about, go to our See You on the CW page. If you can stick around, we'd appreciate that. Also, the video clip going viral tonight. I've already put this on our Facebook page as well, just in case you can't wait. Punxsutawney Phil, he wasn't looking for a shadow, Dave. He was looking for breakfast, biting a mayor's ear.
And we're certainly going to get the report from Phil if you've missed out today on what he's forecasting. Of course, we'll do that and talk about the rest of this week, including your weekend, how it looks, coming up next.
This is ABC 7 at 9 on the CW. We'll be right back.